Hello and welcome back to Scaredy Cat Rides Rides. You are so welcome here and I'm glad you're joining me for another episode. Or if this is your first time, then welcome. Welcome to the party. If you don't know, Scaredy Cat Rides Rides is a channel for people who are a little bit scared of rides, but want to try and conquer their fears. So if that's you, then you are home. Welcome home. Okay, so in this episode, I want to talk a little bit about what I mean when I talk about roller coaster sensations and why learning them and getting a feel for them is going to be so helpful for you if you want to get over your fear of roller coasters. I've touched on this in my longer explainer video, which is my bigger guide to getting over the fear of roller coasters. I recommend checking that out first and then coming back to this if you haven't already. So let's assume you've watched that video and you've got to me talking about learning what sensations you like and you're like, okay, don't quite get it, but cool. Here's why. So I want to preface this by saying that, I don't have any mental health training or experience or anything like that. And as always, if you are concerned about that kind of thing, please do seek help. There are charities out there that will help you. There's your GP, there's lots of options for you. So this is not intended as actual medical advice. However, what I did want to say was that the reason I came about thinking of sensations was there was a long spell in my life where I was doing trauma-centered therapy. I had PTSD type symptoms that were being treated, and one of the things we came back to a lot was sitting with feelings and how they feel in your body. So oftentimes, if I am in a bad mental health way, that's my very, very first step, is to go inwards and think about how I am feeling in the moment. And that's when I started applying it to roller coasters, which is like, okay, but I'm a bit scared of the roller coaster. It hasn't traumatized me yet. Hopefully it won't. But the reason it works for roller coasters, in my view, is that if you are looking at a roller coaster from off-ride and trying to figure out if that roller coaster is right for you, you are not judging that roller coaster based on how it actually is. You're looking at it, right? Yeah, but you don't know how it feels. You don't know what the experience is. You're looking at it, you down here, it up there. And you're making a judgment on what it's going to be like based on what you assume it's going to be like. That's where it kind of comes in with my method. See, when we're talking about grounding ourselves, or when I've talked about it in therapy, it's about not letting your mind get consumed by the what ifs of the future or the past. But it's about going, how does it feel now? So when I talk about going back into your body, that's kind of what I want you to do. There's a little bit of that in terms of, I don't want you to be thinking about the idea of the roller coaster. Let's bring it back into you. That's going to calm you down. But also, when we start to get an idea of how sensations feel, then when we're thinking about what ride is next for us, or whether a ride's going to be right for us, then suddenly we're grounding it in something that's actually tangible, it's actually real, it's actually how we're going to experience it. It's not how we're imagining it's going to feel. And let's face it, if you're nervous, you're imagining it's going to be the most terrifying, heart palpitation, awful thing. But we all know if we've got on a roller coaster we were scared of and come off laughing, that is not the case. So that's why I say stay, look at your sensations, because when you've learnt a sensation, and you know from either commentary on YouTube or from looking at the elements that it's going to provoke those sensations, then you know, not think, not guess, you know that there are elements of that ride that you're going to like. So what I mean when I'm talking about looking out for sensations you enjoy is, and I will have videos on recommended orders for different parks that will be coming soon, but when you try a ride, hopefully a ride which is within your comfort zone, I want you to think about feelings like, did you like coming off of your seat? Did you like the feeling of going fast? Did you like the feeling of being pinned into your seat? Did you like maybe a slow bit that gave you views? Were you distracted by really good theming? That's not necessarily a sensation bit thing, but definitely something to look out for. If you know that you're somebody who can immerse yourself in that, then that's definitely something which you could use going forward. But in terms of those sensations, you want to think about things like airtime, how G-forces feel, how you feel on a drop, that kind of thing. And it's fine if the first time you do something you're like, I didn't like any of it, I could survive it, but I didn't like any of it. I would say give it another go. And also it's fine if you do that and you don't like any of it and you've done it 5 times and you still don't like any of it. You're allowed to not like things. You're allowed to be interested in rides and roller coasters and have zero interest in going on them. There is nothing wrong with you if that is you. I just want to say that. But assuming that's not the case, once you have an idea of these are sensations that I know I really like, some, you might be like, I really don't like that, or some you might be like, that's okay, or some you're like, I don't like it, but I'll deal with it. All of that, totally valid. But I want you to just take those sensations that you know that you really like. Now, when you're looking out for rides, you want to look out for elements that might be similar. You also want to look out for, if you're somebody who's on YouTube a lot, enthusiasts who comment on rides, they might say, oh, that was a real airtime machine, or that was a really forceful experience. Look out for descriptors like that. And when you're seeing that applied a lot to a certain ride and it's a sensation that you're looking for, then that's going to be one that I'll always recommend for your next step. Because you know what? If you know you enjoy it, you can focus on that. Not that bit which is making you a bit nervous. No, don't do that. We like this bit. This is the bit we're going to look at. So yeah, that's why I recommend sensations, and that is how I apply sensation usage. For me, it's such a game changer. It keeps you grounded when you're there, when you're feeling nervous. It keeps things based in reality. It keeps things based in fact. It means you're not going off how things look, which is terrifying off ride. It's supposed to look terrifying. They're not designed to look nice. That's the whole point. So yeah, hopefully that helps a little bit, and that's a little bit of a deep dive explainer into why I talk about sensations. And if you do like that, there is much more content going to be coming your way shortly, so do give me a like and a follow on YouTube. You can also find me on Instagram. Please do leave a comment, especially if you have any particular topics you want to see covered, any parks you want to see covered, that kind of thing. But if not, see you soon. Do the brave thing. Believe in you. Take care.